country, an area of land that has its own government, army. You may recognize this music, or maybe not. Let me and my mates explain. To begin, let us remember that history is the most important part and significant context we have about a country. Let's just start with a little history about this beautiful country. Wales is a constituent nation of the United Kingdom. It's located on a peninsula to the west of the island of Great Britain, where its limits to the east with England and to the west with Irish and Celtic seas of the Atlantic Ocean. Wales was never a single independent political country. Instead, medieval Wales was a collection of different kingdoms united by a common language, but divided by rival ambitions and territorial claims. Some learned to live with the new realities, but resentment simmered, particularly in times of economic hardship. In 1400, this resentment exploded into a rebellion that has spread across the whole nation, destroying much of the economy and consuming violence and retaliations. This led to some reconciliation on both sides. Wales was incorporated with England in the reign of Henry VIII.
The Welsh people became creators of their culture based on their history and political situations, and were responsible for giving certain clues of how complicated their past was and its impact still in the present. For the Welsh, it is very satisfying to beat the English in rugby. It is a non-violent method of getting back at them, and since we touch the emotional issue, the personality of the Welsh tends to be sensitive and transparent. They show more often their discontent or discomfort.
Their customs sound quite interesting, and that they reflect part of their history is impressive. Now, let's move on to Wales gastronomy. Little has been said about Welsh food. Even though it may be the smallest country in the UK, some of their dishes are considered uniquely Welsh. To start, the national food of Wales is the leek. But why is just a single ingredient the national food? Back in the day, the Welsh wore leeks on their uniforms when they went into battle. This was Welsh soldiers' way of identifying themselves to each other from the enemy. Leek is also a symbol of Wales. But of course, there are other emblematic Welsh dishes. Some of them are the cold, laverbread, and Glamorgan sausage. There is no doubt that the food is just as interesting as their country.
Now it's time to explain some of Wales' tourist attractions. Wales is one of the most beautiful places in the UK. In Wales, you can find places to ski or climb mountains. Let's talk about some of the best places to visit in Wales. Snowdonia is a national park dedicated to hiking. Its mountains and vegetation make the place even more touristic. Other activities you can perform here are biking and climbing. As a matter of fact, this is the only national park that has its own resort in Wales, Port Marion Resort, and it's located on the coast of Snowdonia National Park in Gwynedd, North Wales. Brecon Beacons. People come here to sail, explore the Henry Falls, and to visit abandoned coal mines. Caernarfon Castle is the oldest medieval fortress in Wales. The particularity of this castle is that it contains 13 towers and 2 gates. Pretty amazing, right? Looking at the description of these places is not enough. You should book a flight and visit them by yourself. Now, let's get to know Wales' main cities. Wales has a really beautiful and emblematic cities. Some of them are the capital city of Wales, Cardiff. It's a port city on the south coast of Wales. It was proclaimed the capital in 1955. Bangor is the oldest city in Wales. It was founded in the 6th century by Daniel. It might be one of the smallest cities in the UK, but you can study in one of the best universities in Wales. In the southeast of Wales, there is the largest coal exporting city, Newport. It's a vibrant city, but compared with the history of other cities, this is just new. It's known for the Transporter Bridge and the Newport Castle.
Look how many great cities. How about you go and book a flight right now?
And as in many countries, we have many important people. In this video, we are going to talk about 3 of them. In the first place, about the most important people in its history, we find Sir Winston Churchill. He was a politician and writer who served as Prime Minister during World War II. His tenure has been considered one of the best in history. He is the only British Prime Minister to have received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953. Second place is to Isambard Kingdom Brunel. He was considered a famous English engineer known for being the creator of the Great Western Railway. and building a famous series of steamships and a large number of very important bridges for the United Kingdom. And last but not least, Diana, Princess of Wales. She was the most famous member of the British royal family and was an important philanthropist. She was the first wife of the Prince Charles of Wales and is the mother of his 2 children. England's most beloved princess shocked the world when, in 1997, an accident ended her life. As you can watch in this video, Wales is an amazing city. Its customs, culture, food, places, and people make this city a place worth visiting.